Module kitchen mishap, and I'm going to share a cacophony, and it'll probably be a fairly long video about a very short cacophony. I call it a cacophony, but I'm just being modest, of course. It's a bit tuneful, actually. So I'll play it. Hopefully you'll hear it on the recording. There we go. Right, that's enough of that. The first thing you probably notice is this is Ableton, and you're probably thinking, what's he doing? He's doing it all in Ableton, and he's sequencing things and stuff like that. And that's not actually true. I was finding that my patches were getting a bit big. So I've got the VCV Pro, so I was actually able to find out how to include bits of VCV into Ableton. So actually, the only thing out of all this cacophony that is being done by Ableton is an upright piano. And it's backed up by this other sound that actually is done in VCV. So let's take a quick tour of the sounds. I'll just gradually. Oh, shall I solo them? What should I do? Let's mute them all. How do I mute? Um, yeah, not very used to this, so I'm gonna let's just give this a go. Let's turn all these off, and see what happens. Off, and maybe I can turn them on one at a time. Fingers crossed, eh? As I say, this is going to be a long video. Well, I hope not. That's not the intention. That's just my suspicion. So we'll turn that one on. And nothing happens. But that's fine because that just generates a bunch of MIDI notes, hi-hat notes. And you've got to put it into the bit that makes the sound for them. Right, lots of symbols. So where's the VCV? Let's have a look. So we'll click on here and we've got this VCV as an effect, and we open it up and oh, it's bigger than the screen. Okay, trying to make everything zoomed in. Right, so here we have a little patch, well, fairly small. So it's taken from the MIDI, it's taken a start and stop signal, so it knows to start and stop things. It takes a clock. So this is the MIDI clock coming from Ableton. And it goes into this magical device. I say magical because I wrote it myself. So I've taken a bit of a deep dive into creating my own modules in VCV. So we'll come back to that later. And I'll show you what that does. Well, basically, what it does, it's got a number of steps, 4, so it's got 4 lights there, and these light up, these triggers light up one by one, 1, 2, 3, 4 in turn, and then go back to the first one. So it'll probably happen too fast to see. Let's press play, and we don't hear much. Yeah. So you saw these are flicking very fast. You've got the clock coming in, and this is going out, and it's going to another one of these. And actually further along, we can see one maybe over here. Oh no, not a good idea. Okay, this is going to be a bit rambling. But essentially, it divides down the clock into something going a bit slower. And then these 4 sequence together to give a very fast hi-hat sound or beat. Basically, we've got lots of different beats in the bar, all going together and going off over here. And then here's the clever bit. Well, I think it's clever. It uses a gate to MIDI thing. So these are all trigger voltages. They come into here, and they get turned into an F sharp 2, an A sharp 2, an F sharp 3, and a D sharp 3. And that's MIDI. So that comes back into, I think I have to start again. There we go. Let's open that up again. So you can see these flashing now. You see these flashing now. There's the fast hi-hat, and there's some other tings and things. So that's actually output into MIDI, and it's coming into this other thing, this next track, which turns the MIDI into audio. So it takes the input from the bit that generates the MIDI notes, the hi-hat stuff that we just did. And if we click on that, and we'll go to that VCV Rack, you can see it takes the MIDI notes and sends them into this drum player. And that's your different hi-hat sounds. And then that output goes into the audio. So basically I'm sending things in and out of VCV and in and out of Ableton. But Ableton's really a base that I'm using it as a base for everything to go in and out of without Ableton really doing much at all. So then I've got, from that MIDI to audio, I've got it coming into the sweep frequencies thing. If I turn that on, I might wait for it. You can hear a slight sweeping of frequencies, so that's another VCV rack. Oh, that's the wrong one. So click on this and go to this, and it's an LFO. You can see it sweeping up and down, and then it just changes the cutoff of some filters. So it's emphasizing different frequencies of the hi-hats. And then I've got some tom-toms. So is that going to work? How do I get that to work? Oh, I've got to turn on the sound of the tom-toms. That's that one. Again, I've got separate tracks, one to generate the MIDI notes and another VCV once again to actually play this in the same way as before. This is actually a different patch, but it's very similar, and it plays the tom-toms. And if I click that button, there we go. And then we've got kind of a drum kit, and what I'm playing at here is, you can hear, let's see what we got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. The hi-hat's going a 4 note, 4 beats in the bar. But this one, the rest of the kit, actually has 6 beats in a bar. So the idea is they sort of play off each other and rotate around each other. Then what we got? Oh, then it gets exciting. So we got an arpeggio. So if I look at that, oh, what button is it? It's that button. So got some more stuff that I wrote myself. Not meaning to blow my own trumpet too much, but again, we're using this bass end thing that I wrote to cut down the rate of the clocks. And then somewhere here, oh yeah, then we've got this chord sequence 4. Oh, let's turn it on. So that's turned on. And put it into the piano. So how do I get back to that? So I'll go to that one. And go to that one. So this was something I was quite keen on because I'm a drummer, as you can hear from all the cacophony. So I don't understand. Well, I don't know how to play chords. I couldn't do it on a keyboard if I tried. I might have a little go in one key or something. But I made this thing to make it all easy for me. So you choose a key. So if I drag that, change the key signature. You choose your key signature, go back to C. Right, that's back to C. And then just to be extra fun, you've got all the different modes. So we can make it dreamy. Let's see how that sounds. It sounds different at least. Let's go back to the major. And then you get to choose 4 chords positions within the key. You just use those and they go into this thing, and this thing is an arpeggiator. Well, it's one of these. It's one of these clock divider things. But I've added this extra little feature where you can put in a polyphonic chord and it will loop through sort of 4 notes of the chord, which is fun. And you just stick that in here and send it back to the MIDI. Okay. And then getting close to the end now, and then we've got this going to a piano, as you can hear, and then I've got this other thing. Now that piano is a MIDI instrument in Ableton, So that's the only real thing that's in here. So this one here is another one, another instrument, and it's just a very simple, kind of like a plucked string or something, but I've got an octave shifter in here, so it goes a bit deeper. And if I turn it on, there we go. And that is that. I hope you could hear my voice. I hope you could hear the cacophony. Okay. So that was that. And I think that'll do for now. How long is that? That is a 16-minute video. Oh dear. Never mind. Well, thank you for listening. Bye.